Hi everyone and welcome back. You're joining me today and I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous furry balls. They are very cute, and basically I've made these from what was a scarf. My mother-in-law sent me some fur pieces down a few weeks ago, and it wasn't very wide. Now the pieces I'm using are about 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch, and I think when I finished I'll have got about 16 of these out for my Christmas tree. And then I'm going to show you how to make these rustic bows. You can see, and I've actually done these in 3 sizes, so there's sort of a large one, a medium and a small one, so I'll show you how to make those as well. So we'll get started on making these first then. So first thing you need to do is cut your piece of fabric, depending on how big you want them as to how big you cut them, but for a 4.5 inch this is the size that I'm getting. So if you look at my hand, it's a decent sized ball. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply start by stitching round the edges, round all 4 sides, and I've never had a Christmas tree in my bedroom before, but this year I've bought one of those slimline pencil type trees, so I'm looking forward to getting that up. And I just thought that these would look very cute with the rustic bows. And the fabric that I'm using for the bows, my sister bought some curtains, I think it's about 3-4 years ago now, and she didn't like the lining in it. So she basically asked me if I could take the lining out, shorten them, and then put some blackout linings in them, which I did. But the offcuts, which I'm making these bows out of, I've been meaning to do for the last 3 years, and never got round to it. So this year when I did these, I thought, oh, let me get that bit of fabric out and get them made up once and for all. So you've got a bit of wadding. It doesn't have to be precise how big this is, but I've basically cut them, basically when that's out, similar size to what that is, but you've got a lot of fullness in your fur, so you don't need a big piece of wadding in it. But all I'm doing is literally screwing it up from the centre, and then I'm literally putting it inside the square, and then I'm going to start literally pulling, making sure I'm tucking the wadding inside, pulling it tight. Now you need really strong cotton to be doing this, because you don't want your cotton snapping on you when you're pulling it. And even if you've got a fine string that'll go through a needle, you could use that, but the cotton I'm using is this, which is really, you can pull that as tight as you want and you ain't going to snap it. I don't actually know what they call it. Let's have a look. Ipecac bond? I don't know. But it's super strong. So I'm just going to basically pull this to get the first pull of it. Right, let me just position that so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so I'm pulling that, and you can see there, can you see how it's just coming undone? So I'm pulling that, and what I'm doing is, once I've got that as tight as I can get it, I'm putting the pressure with one finger on so it doesn't come undone. Then I'm gonna pull it again, pressure on it again, as tight as you can. That's not, I've got it too long this, but let's go with it. As tight as you can. Tuck that in. And then let me just get this. Pulling it. Holding that on there and pulling it. And then I'm just gonna literally couple more so that it's not going to come undone. Let me just cut quite a bit of that excess off because it is long, that, isn't it? Right, so that's all tied up. Okay, so that's the back. You could have it as the top, because what you could do is you could put a bit of ribbon on there. So if there's any slightly bit untidiness, but that's not bad at all. But what I'm doing is I'm having that to the back. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to rethread this cotton. Let's get this threaded. Yeah, it'd help if I got my glasses on. So let's stick them on. Straight in with glasses on. And then what I'm going to do, where it's there, I'm going to actually push it in the back, the needle, and I'm going to fetch it up to the top. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the other. And then I will use them to tie on the tree. And that is that, the ball. So let's do another one. Let me just rethread my needle up. So once again, round all 4 sides. Feeding it down. Okay, I'm going to actually leave that cotton, the needle threaded, so that I don't have to rethread it when I'm doing it again. So, from the centre, pulling it, tucking it in the centre of the fur ball, and literally, as you're pulling it, I'm just tucking the wad in so it's inside the centre, and then I'm just going to carry on pulling that. So let me just first of all, this one, I'm going to tuck that in there, and then I'm going to pull as tight as I can pull that, bringing all that together in the centre. I'm going to then, trying to undo, get that so it's going to come through. And get through there. Okay, let me just pull that a little bit tighter. So pulling it, and then this would be much easier, you know, if there was 2 people, so you could get somebody to hold it for you. Pulling that, pulling it, pulling it, and pulling it. Right, so then I'm gonna put my finger in there to hold that. Let's get that cotton through. Pulling that so that you've got the knot, because I don't want that coming undone on me. Oh, the needles come out anyway. So let's get this threaded again. And then I'm going to just put it inside. Let's have a look actually. You can actually look and see how you want the fur to look, because with this particular one, can you see how you've got lights and you've got darks? So I think I'm going to go with that. So you're going to push it up, so you're wanting that to be at the top of your ball. Okay, so again, I will cut my strings down when it's on the tree after I've made a loop for them. And that's another lovely ball for the tree. So they're all done. So let's start now then on making the bows. So I've got my little piece here, and again this all depends on how big you want your bows. If you want them wider, longer, all depends. So just cut them to how you want them. I've got these particular ones to 23 inch long by 3 inch wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it, not cut it in half, fold it in half. There. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to come about 4 inch down, and then I'm going to lay it, and then I'm going to open the bottom 2 pieces, and I'm going to lay that like so. So I've got, it's folded over, and it's folded over the other side, and then I've got my string. So I'm going to cut a piece of string. I'm going to take the string underneath the bit that's folded over on both sides, and then I'm going to simply pull that, and then I'm going to take this string over the top there, and the other string is going to go around the back. So what I'm going to do here is turn it obviously like I have done, pull the string, but as I'm doing that I'm going to look on the front and make sure that it's in the centre of the bow, because you don't want this either more to that side or more to this side. You need to try and get it centre. Okay, so I'm going to pull that tight. Okay, so I'm going to tie a knot in that, like so. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this because again, this is what I'm going to use to tie on the tree, so that will be cut down after. But I've got, these are the diamante pieces that I'm actually putting down the centre. This I actually cut off a top. It was strapping on a top and come round the neckline. So if you're getting rid of any clothes and they've got some jazzy bits on, think twice about, you know, getting rid of them, because with me I always take it off and utilise it. So what I've worked out on here is that I need 10. So I'm going to count up 10 diamantes before I cut it. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I've got my little snippers here. So I'm just going to cut 1, cut 2, put that down, and then I'm going to get my string out of way by pulling it to the side that it goes down. I'm just going to get my glue gun, and I'm literally going to glue round there. I'm going to get my diamante bits, and I'm going to lay it on the centre. Now with this, just be careful, because your glue gun, the glue is red hot, because when I was doing the others yesterday, I burnt myself a couple of times, but that's just me. Something like this. And then that is your middle bit. And then what I'm going to do personally, I'm going to lay these down. Now some like to cut them up in a V, but me personally, I like to cut them where one is going up at one side, and then I try to get that so it's going the same at the other side. So that's one done there, and then I'll put my finger actually in the bow to make it puff out a bit, and then the same with that. You see, I won't mess about with it when it's on tree. So if it's sat on the tree, it should look something like this. Now I will trim some of these excess bits off, but it's that type of fabric which will fray. But these are a rustic type of bow. They're not going to look smooth and neat and tidy. There is going to be some roughness to them. So let me just put that one to one side while we do another one. So once again, we're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. I'm going to get my fingers, like I said, about 4 inches down. So what I'm doing, I'm getting my fingers here, and then literally at the centre, I'm literally pushing it down to meet that. You can see there where it's actually starting to take some shape form of a bow. I'm going to try and open the back there. Okay, so that, and then I'm going to bring those together and let the top sit on top, like so. Okay, so I'm going to get another piece of string, and once again I'm going to take this underneath the overlap bit. I'm going to pull it at the top, and then I'm going to take one over the top and underneath, turning it over. I'm just going to first of all loop them together, and then I'm going to just turn it right way to make sure that I've got it in the centre. Make sure that these two are laying flat, because I think it would turn up a bit on that other one. And then I'm going to pull this tight because I've got that where I want. I'm quite happy with that. Pull it tight. Yep. And let's get a knot tied in that. There we go. So that, just get these little bitties trimmed off. There, so we don't want to be cutting the string now, do we? Right, so that is how the bow's looking at this moment in time. So once again, I'm going to cut a diamante piece. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now on the bigger ones I had to do a few more than 10 because obviously they were bigger to get round. And then let's get the glue on there. Okay. The diamante piece. Then I'm going to get that and actually force it around to the back. Let me just try and get a bit of this glue off my fingers. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the shapes that I'm wanting on the bits that's hanging down. Just pick that up because I don't want glue on my carpet. There you go. And then let's get this one cut. So that's going like that. That one is going like that. So with me, what I do is I have one going up and then one going down. Let's have a look. You can see that. Like that. Okay, so that is another one finished. So they're super easy to make, and I think that they're going to look really, really cute on a Christmas tree. And hopefully the lights on the tree will pick up on these glistening bits what I've put in the middle. So what I'll do is, when I've got them on my tree, I'll actually show you the finished tree and how they look on it. So if you've got any fur pieces knocking about. Hi guys, so we're not quite at the tree stage yet, but I've come in the kitchen basically to finish the last few bows off that I was got to do. And I've got, this is just full of different beads, pearls, of necklace that I've cut up, bracelets that I no longer use, snip in my tub to use on other projects. But when I brought this in, because I was thinking of putting pearls down the bows, you know, instead of the crystal bit that I've got, but I went for the crystal. But let me show you what I did do. This large one come from a necklace which was, if you can see the size of that, that was really heavy to wear, which I probably wore once and that would be it. So basically I cut that up and put it in my pearl jar, and then that was a bracelet, and that was probably a bracelet, and literally I'm going to show you just what I do with it now to get it like that. So I've got the 2 pieces of thread that I've stitched in it, and I'm literally just going to put that in a needle. And get it both in together. Yeah, so that's in there, and then I've literally got the large pearl, which I'm literally going to stitch straight on. Then the medium size, and I think one of my little ones has done a runner, and then the 3rd one. So that is my 3 different size pearls. Yeah, and then I'm going to come across to the glue gun, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the pearl that's on top, and I'm just going to put some glue just on the cotton above the 2nd pearl. So what I'm going to do is just a tiny bit, but enough to hold it. Pull the gun away, get the excess stringy glue off, and then I'm just going to push the small pearl. Just get that excess off, because sometimes you get a little tiny bit too much, don't you? There. And then just, how nice does that look for a Christmas tree? So I just had to share that with you. So see you in a bit at the tree. Well, the tree's all done, and I've never had a tree in my bedroom before, and it is so slimline that really it doesn't take up much room in my bedroom. But let's just have a look at the baubles and the bows that you can make for your tree or your wreath or wherever you want to put them, really. But how nice do they look? And I think they do look so much better as well with the pearls that I've put on top. So if you've got any jewellery that lying about that you don't like anymore but you can utilise your beads, get a jar, get your scissors, get crafting. Now I'll just point out these feather garlands that I've got on, because these are beautiful. I've had these years. They come on, it's like a clear wire, and I actually bought these from JTS so many years ago, and I think I paid something ridiculous like 85 pence per pack, because they come in, you know, like you got it in like a little clear bag, and I think I only bought 3. But I wish I'd got so many more, because I've had these on my big tree downstairs in past, and last year I had them draped over my big mirror in the hallway, and I've never seen them since. And what I did with the bows, I actually tied them round 2 of my candles, around the bases. They do look absolutely, I'm really pleased. So let me know in the comments below what you think to this little project, and if you intend on making some yourself. Bye for now, and see you soon.